Hey everybody, DJ here, Paranormal Response, joined with a couple other members.
Rick Juffer.
Dan Juffer.
So this is only two of the, six? We have six on the team?
6 or 7.
6 or 7. And we've been together now, 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
And we've done approximately, 12 investigations. And we've also done a couple of those investigations a few times. So, we go to places like Virgin House.
The Buffalo Terminal.
We've been there a few times. We've been to Margin Manor. And what's the house out in...
We've done a couple of funeral homes.
Yeah, we've done a couple of funeral homes. We also do private investigations for anybody who needs help, which is what we're going to also do today. And maybe somehow I'll link those investigations up to this little first show that we're doing. So what we do... Well, what do?
We should introduce ourselves as their new podcast, too.
Yeah, a new podcast. We don't know if it's going to be a podcast or if we're going to go on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or just cover all the avenues and try to get ourselves out there. Basically, we just want to share our experiences with other investigators or people who are into paranormal investigations. We don't look for money. We don't ask for money. We never will. We do this because we enjoy it, and we want to help people. If somebody wants to donate to the cause, then that's great. We'll put it towards equipment. We'll put it towards travel, whatever. But we'll never ask.
Now, are these videos going to be published under the Sage on our
Yes.
.com? Or
this one here,
Response?
though, we'll just put it as a general, but I'll also put it under the Sage. So if you go to our website, paranormalresponse.com, we have investigations. There is a section for private sessions, and then there's a section for Sage. And we call ourselves Sage Unit. Right? And this video will go under that, and it will also go under the investigation links for now, just because we don't know how many people are going to see this. And I do have a YouTube channel that I do my sessions on, which is also under the same investigation channel. So it's all one thing, but split up so that you as a viewer can decide what you want to watch. Do you want to watch investigations, private sessions, or do you want to watch our live show? It's easier to find that way. So what we do is we go into homes. Or we go into abandoned buildings. It doesn't matter, cemeteries, whatever. Just to see what's out there, just to see who's out there. If a spirit needs help, they will usually let us know. And while we're not one to just, send a spirit to the light, we do all have a unique quality that a few of us have archangels for spirit guides, and Rick also has an angel, which is his grandfather that watches over him, and you too, right?
Yeah.
Your grandfather watches over the both of you, and that's really helpful on an investigation because sometimes you need that protection, and we can't just send a spirit off into the light. Anybody who says that they can do that, they're kidding themselves. First of all, spirit has to want to go to the light, and it's up to that spirit to ask for that help. Now, we can call on our spirit guides to come down, and that spirit can ask that spirit guide to help them get to where they need to go, and that's what we rely on. And we use our spirit guides all the time through every investigation for protection and for knowledge. So, anything else you want to add?
Well, now it's February, and DJ Danny, what would be for last year your favorite paranormal case that we've had? Like your
My favorite one was our very first one. just because it was our first one, and it was kind of more personal for me because my grandfather was in that basement of that house that we were at.
Right.
And I knew the guy who was upstairs who was so angry, you know, from being a kid. I didn't know him personally, but he lived next door to my grandmother, which is now my parents' house. And I knew that guy. And he ended up committing suicide, and he was in that house, and he was making the family uneasy because he was basically punishing himself. You know, he committed suicide, and from what I understand, that guy, the doctor, told him he had terminal brain cancer or leukemia or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And, you know, medicine in the 70s, late 70s, wasn't like it is now, and he basically thought he had a death sentence, and he shot himself in the head on the porch. And my grandmother was watching The Price is Right when he did it. So, you know, so... And then his wife lived in that house for quite a while after he passed, and she was the dentist at the school that, you know, that I went to school at in the primary school. She was the little kid's dentist. And that was finally the factor that got his attention because he didn't like me too much, and I was a little rude those first few investigations because I didn't know how to handle myself, and you know, I was a little rude, and I was a little scared, I guess, maybe too, so that's why I was rude at the same time. But he didn't like me too much. But when I started talking about his wife, he really settled down, and we got to the bottom of what was going on, and we ended up sending him out on his way. I mean, we didn't personally get him to leave, but he left on his own because it is, after all, a spirit's choice. And he left. He went. He went to the light, and he told that family before he was going that he was going. They had an app, a Ghost Radar. And the Ghost Radar sends messages across your screen that the spirits can manipulate. And he basically said the same things to them the day after that he said to us the day before, talking about sand and light and traveling. And his wife ended up moving to Florida, so we think that's what the travel and the sand came from. And the light was, he was ready to move on and pass onto that light. And that family said that they heard the loudest boom upstairs, like somebody just stomped as hard as they could, and the whole house shook. And he said goodbye through the app, and he hasn't been back since.
That's cool.
Yep. And what we know of in the basement, my father's father, my grandfather, who I never met, he built the foundation of that house, and he is the spirit that stays downstairs, who will ring the bell that's down there and grab people down there, because he's upset because when they moved in, they tore down the workbench that was on the back wall. Remember?
Yes.
He was upset that the workbench was torn down. And it was old and dilapidated, and they tore it down and threw it out. And that's why he's angry, Grandpa. Grandpa's mad. Don't piss off Grandpa. So that's my favorite one. What's yours?
I would have to say the Albion Bridge for how we released the spirit and how we seen the orbs
That was
of the
pretty
spirit.
cool. That was pretty cool.
That was good. And you can watch that one, or you can hear it. We didn't use video that night. That's the Brown Street Bridge, and I think there's 2 or 3 parts.
And that's where one of our shirts actually got created from.
Yep.
So if you see us in a video or something, none of our shirts actually will have that logo on it. So please listen or watch it.
And if you've been following the sessions, you know that I have a screen printing shop here, and I make us shirts.
My favorite one was actually the Buffalo Terminal. That was on my bucket list of my life to go see that.
And we still have to go back there.
I enjoyed every minute of it. The only bad part was what you had more than 25 people in your group, so it was rough to get our evidence going because of all the interferences. But it was just astonishing to see all from the old antiques to their remodeling to it just so much history in that building.
And what was I going to say? The terminal was run by Beyond Ghost, so we actually pay to go there. $30 a person, and it's a few hours.
Yeah,
it's more than enough time, but there's a set path, and you've got to follow. We kind of go off the path a little bit. We kind of slip away. when we're there.
Well, the
As
funniest,
much as we can.
the funniest part, if you remember, when you weren't there just yet and we got there on time,
Mm-hmm.
his name wasn't on the list,
Oh,
and
that's
he
right.
almost got left out.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
So
all in a good day. That was just, it was
the terminal was a really
fun.
cool place.
It was fun.
And there's the little boy there, and I know some people will argue the fact that children, that it's not a child, it's a demon or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in all that. I do think that there are children's spirits, though.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't ever been told, or you don't know, or you haven't watched our videos, he can see them. Mm-hmm. So if there's something that's gone wrong or something that doesn't seem right, he's going to tell us. Yeah. So if that kid at that Buffalo terminal was not a real kid, in the 3 hours that we were there, I think that you would have been able to pick up that it's not really a kid.
No.
Right? And that kid, he said that he was left behind by his parents.
Right.
And I don't know why the parents dropped him off, whether they couldn't afford him or they were junkies or what. But he was left there to die. And he froze, didn't he? He froze and starved. Mm-hmm. And his name was...
It escaped from my mind, too.
Oh, shit. It was with a J. Was it... Not Jacob,
Joe.
Jeremiah?
Joe?
No, it was a...
I know.
I can't remember, but he wanted to go home with me because I had a little boy. I had to tell Rick to tell him no. And I think he might have came to your house a couple times, didn't he? Did he show up at your house a couple times?
A few times, yes. Mm-hmm.
So he does not want to stay there. Now I don't mean to slam Beyond Ghost because they've got a business and they make a lot of money doing what they do, but they use those spirits as a draw.
Yeah.
And and they don't care about whether they want to be there or not. They just know that that's a spirit that'll perform.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that's entertaining to people who are paying money. But that spirit told Rick that he didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. And at that time he told Rick that he didn't want to be there. The guys in that were running the show there were saying how he likes to play with the balls and how he likes to do this and how he likes to do that. And I can't keep my mouth shut, and I said, he doesn't want to be here. He said he doesn't like you guys and he doesn't want to be here. And everybody just shut up. So that spirit told us that he wanted to move on to the light. And the two guys that were our guides that night at the Buffalo terminal said that they watched over him the best that they could. Mm-hmm. But he's a little kid and he's all over the place, basically.
Yep.
And we had Bob was one of our guides that night, and I can't remember the other guy.
We had a few, quite a few.
But every room that we went into that terminal, those guides followed us around, and they told Rick, and they introduced us to everybody who basically had a job there that was still in that terminal, and they told us what they did and the history, and that's what it's about for us. We like the history. Mm-hmm. We go to a lot of places around this town, which we're going to tonight, to the old motel, and it's more about learning the history. We study the history before we go to these places, or after, depending on what we learn. Right down to this shop and to the Roots building. We've been there like 3 times. And we want to go in there and learn about the history. And he lives in Lockport, New York, and there's a lot of history there.
Oh,
and we're trying to get into places there. And that's it. That's what we do. Oh. And in between, when we're not doing stuff as a group, we're trying to find places to go. There are many people that come to us, and it's weird because, like I told you before, people will come in here to order apparel from me, and they'll look over here if I've got stuff set up for ghost stuff, and they're kind of put off, and some are like, oh my God, that's cool. So that's what we do, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Mm-hmm. And we'll record as much as we can and just bring you the truth. We don't fudge nothing. You might see a little cut here and there in the video. That's only because we've either messed up or there just wasn't nothing going on. I'm not going to put 4 minutes of dead air or a ghost box just going. There's no reason to hear that. But everything that we do is for real.
And we are trying to expand more. on social media. You know, we got. Well, what do we have?
Well, we got Facebook page, Paranormal Response on Facebook.
And Instagram.
Instagram, yes.
So we're trying.
I don't like the Twitter thing too much, though. I don't care about that. I think we tried the Twitter.
And it didn't.
Yeah, Twitter sucks. I don't like that.
We're trying to expand more and more to getting our point across of what we're here for and what to help you guys out in the afterlife.
And it's not always cool. Sometimes it's pretty damn scary. Like the house that we got to go to today. We've got 2 today. And we've already decided that we're not going to get too deep into this first one because I think that something not so nice might be there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's not up to us to move it out. We don't have that ability. I mean, we probably could because we have done it, but I don't think that's the route that I want to go. You know, I want to learn. I want to get the information and maybe pass it on to somebody who's more qualified.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely like to see us, you know, from last year to this year, to justify and go like that.
Right, and it's not to say that we won't get qualified.
Right.
In the future, but right now, no, we're not. I mean, we can do shit off the cuff if we have to. But why endanger yourself? You know, I've already been attacked once. He's been attacked. I don't know if you've ever been attacked.
Yeah, he has.
Andrew's been attacked. I mean, that sucks. That ain't fun, and that'll mess you up for a couple weeks. But you know what? In the end, always end up back here.
Yep.
It always ends up back here anyway. So I'm learning how to deal with things, and I'm also starting to sense and hear a lot more. I'm starting to hear voices a lot. You know, I do a lot of sessions here, and I'll be sitting at my desk or sitting here, and I'll hear somebody say something to me. And it's now, you know, I heard somebody in my house the other night. Right. I was letting the dog out, and it was Jasper. I know Jasper's voice from the frequency that he uses on the radio. It's always the same frequency. And I let the dog out, and I heard Jasper say something out of my right ear. It's always my right ear, too. I don't know why. It's either behind me or it's in my right ear. I never hear anything.
Maybe it's your strong. It
could be my strongest side.
Stronger side.
Maybe
just like
I hear different frequencies.
Grip, you know.
Could be. But I heard him say something, and I told him he couldn't stay. I said, you got to leave. You can't stay here. You know, you can be at the shop. And I haven't heard from Jasper since, though. So I don't know if he's mad at me.
I was going to say,
I heard
you called him out, or.
But I didn't. I wasn't rude. You know. There's a time and a place. And the house, you know, I try not to do anything at the house just because I got a little one there. And, you know, he can see that stuff. And he's already scared of almost everything in life. So I don't need to bring on any more that needs to be there. I mean, it's there anyway, but I don't need to ramp it up, and I'm not going to do that.
Nope.
So that's that. We'll try to keep the investigating to investigating, and if they're here, they're here. I don't care. It doesn't matter here. So that's about it. We're going to do a little bit of investigating. We may have some video, we may not, but whatever evidence we have, we'll bring it to you. And thank you. Thanks for watching. I mean, I picked up about 35 subscribers on the YouTube channel so far, I think. Some videos hit more than others. You know, some have 100, some have, you know. And it's not about that. I mean, anybody that's interested that wants to go out with us, you're more than welcome to do that. We can't take a ton of people because there's already 4 or 5 in our group that will go out on any investigation, any given investigation. So, you know, we try to keep it down to 1 or 2 people if possible. But people are welcome to come, and anybody's welcome to watch. Leave comments. You know, if you hear things that we don't hear, post it up. If you have your own group, post it up. You know, we can link you to our site. We can share links. You know, the more people that join together, the stronger everybody becomes.
Yeah, and we could do, you know, like a crossover.
We don't
like to join you guys.
Yeah, we don't have egos. We're not trying to outdo anybody, outbest anybody. It's not about that. You know, we're just doing what we know how to do the way that we do it. If there are other ways and you know how to do things maybe a little different, or you have some opinion,
we'll join up with you and we'll enjoy, you know.
We'll go break into some private property places and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a little bit of everything, you know. If there's nothing going on, we don't have anything going on, we'll go to a cemetery. We'll just find something. You know, it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter if it's day. It doesn't matter if it's night. I know it's a little more quiet at night. Everything's a little more still. It's easier to hear things, but it doesn't matter. You know, we're going to a place today that's in the day, full daylight, and then later on tonight we'll go to another place. So thank you guys.
You want to send us out where they can check us out on?
Yep, you can check us out. YouTube channel under Paranormal Response.
Yep.
Facebook channel under Paranormal Response. Our website is paranormalresponse.com, and Instagram Paranormal Response.
And also check him out, Digital Arts.
Digital Link Arts. If you need any shirts. All right. Nah. It's all right. Well, no, I will say it, because anybody who is on a team who's an investigator, give me your business card, and I'll give you 15% off of anything that you order. Investigators only, always. Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Like very much.